In the heart of an African village, surrounded by lush landscapes and towering trees, lies a sacred cave. This mystical place, glowing with divine light, holds the destiny of all who reach the age of accountability. Inside, a stone pedestal stands at the center, holding two books, the Book of Life and the Book of Death. A majestic angel, radiant and powerful, stands guard, awaiting those who must choose. The Book of Life. Reveal the 10 Commandments written in radiant golden ink. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not steal. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. The Book of Death. Its open pages whisper enticing promises written in crimson ink. Do as you please. Follow your desires. You are your own master.
Samuel, today you have reached the age of accountability. It is a great milestone and a heavy responsibility. Now, you must journey to the sacred cave and make your choice. Every villager who has come of age has faced this moment. Choose wisely, for your decision will shape your destiny.
I understand, Abdul. I will choose carefully.
It is not so simple, my son. Many before you thought they understood, yet they made the wrong choice. They followed their desires, believing they would find happiness, only to discover too late that the road to redemption is not promised. Some never find their way back.
But how can I know which choice is right for me?
Imagine this. Would you swim across a river without learning of the dangers that lie beneath its surface? Would you dive into its depths without guidance on the currents or the creatures waiting in the shadows? It would be foolish, reckless.
No, I would prepare.
Exactly. Now, imagine a child, helpless, just born. Would you drop that child into the vast ocean without protection, without training, knowing the predators that lurk within? Of course not. Yet many who make this choice treat life in the same way. Ignoring the guidance of their Creator, who knows all things, they abandon the one who could protect and lead them through the storms. The Book of Life is your guide. It is the manual written by the one who made you. The Book of Death offers no such wisdom, only promises of freedom that lead to destruction. Samuel, be cautious. Your life is precious, and so is your soul.
I will keep your words close to my heart, Abdul. Thank you.
As Samuel entered the cave, he was struck by its otherworldly beauty. The angel stood tall and radiant, its majestic wings shimmering with light. The stone pedestal bore the two books that would determine his future.
Welcome, Samuel. Before you stand two choices, the Book of Life and the Book of Death. The Book of Life holds God's eternal laws, the commandments to guide you in truth and righteousness. It promises heaven, but requires discipline and sacrifice. The Book of Death offers freedom to live as you please, to follow your desires, but it leads to destruction and eternal separation from the Creator. You have reached the age of accountability, and now, the choice is yours.
Samuel's heart pounded as he looked at the books. One glowed with divine light, while the other seemed to whisper promises of freedom and indulgence. The weight of the decision pressed heavily on him. Samuel stared at the Book of Life, its golden glow almost pulling him forward. But doubts filled his mind.
The Book of Life, it's full of rules, do's and don'ts. I don't want to live my entire life being told what to do. I want to make my own decisions, to live freely and do as I please. Why should I let anyone control me?
With defiance, Samuel reached for the Book of Death. As his hand touched its smoky cover, shadows seemed to creep around him, and the cave dimmed slightly. The angel watched silently, its glowing eyes filled with solemn understanding. Samuel embraced his freedom, living as he pleased. He partied, traveled, and sought every pleasure the world could offer. To the world, he seemed to have it all. To his friends and even strangers, Samuel looked blessed, successful, carefree, and full of life. Some envied him, thinking he had it all figured out. But deep inside, Samuel's soul was hollow, and his heart was heavy with bitterness and depression. No matter how much he gained, Samuel's soul remained restless. His outward appearance of success was a mask for the bitter truth. He was lost, disconnected from the source of true life. One day, Samuel met an elderly woman under a great baobab tree. She held a small, uprooted plant in her hands, its roots dangling lifelessly.
My son, a plant plucked from the soil will wither and die. It cannot survive without its source of nourishment. So is a man without God. No one knows a product better than its maker, and no maker creates without a manual. Your soul feels empty because you are disconnected from your creator, your true source.
Samuel's heart ached with realization. He had chosen wrong. Samuel returned to the sacred cave, carrying the book of death. His steps were heavy, his heart burdened with regret. Kneeling before the angel, he let his tears flow freely, his voice trembling with emotion.
I was wrong. I thought freedom would bring me happiness. I thought living for myself would satisfy me, but it didn't. None of it did. The money, the friends, the parties, they all left me empty. I'm unhappy, bitter, and lost. I want to exchange this book for the book of life. Please guide me back to the source of light.
The angel's glowing expression softened, its presence radiating both compassion and authority. It placed a comforting hand on Samuel's shoulder.
You must reconnect with the source. Only then can the exchange be made. The path will be hard, but it leads to eternal reward. What you seek is not in the temporary, but in the eternal.
Samuel listened, his heart aching with both sorrow and hope. He realized that his journey to redemption was only beginning. Samuel began his journey with the book of life. Though the path was challenging, he found peace and fulfillment as he reconnected with his Creator. His soul, once empty, now overflowed with light. Though the journey required sacrifice, Samuel found fulfillment, knowing his reward would be eternal. For what does it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Matthew 16:26. Your Creator has written his manual. We may not like it, but he knows you better than you know yourself. Pick it up and read it. Why try to figure life out by yourself when someone has done all the work for you? As Samuel continued his journey with the book of life, he began to understand the deeper truths of existence. One day, while reflecting on the emptiness he once felt and the fleeting nature of his past pursuits, he opened the book to find words of timeless wisdom. Samuel, reading aloud, "Meaningless, meaningless," says the teacher, "utterly meaningless. Everything is meaningless." He paused, his mind flooded with memories of his former life, parties, wealth, fleeting pleasures. He understood now the truth of the scripture. Samuel, continuing, "For everything we see now shall perish. There is nothing new under the sun." Samuel reflected on how he had chased the temporary, thinking it would bring him satisfaction, only to find that it was all vanity. Now he realized that true meaning could only be found in the eternal. Samuel, closing the book with determination, "All that I chased was fleeting, but the eternal reward awaits those who follow the Creator's path. I choose to live for what lasts forever."